Iguana is related to a clam, a shark, a bluegill, a salamander, a raccoon, and a human. In this way, all 6 animals have a backbone, but a shark and an iguana both have a bony skeleton, and a bluegill and iguana all have 4 limbs. An iguana and a salamander have an amniotic egg, but an iguana does not have hair like a raccoon and a human. Another animal has 2 openings behind its eye like the iguana does.
Marine iguanas are found only on the Galapagos Island. They mainly eat marine algae off the rocks in the ocean. The bigger iguanas are able to dice into the ocean almost 40 feet down to get food and have the ability to hold their breath for over an hour. In the shallow areas, they can only hold their breath for about 10 minutes. The smaller iguanas don't go into the water. Instead, they eat the algae off the rocks in the tidal zone. Marine iguanas are the only lizards that search for food in the sea. Predators of the marine iguanas include hawks, owls, rats, seabirds, cats, and dogs. The iguanas are an endangered or vulnerable species that are protected under the laws of Ecuador.
Has evolved in a habitat that is limited in predators. Females are especially at risk of predation when going to open nesting areas. They need access to the ocean and a sandy area to lay their eggs. The young usually have a lighter color and a dorsal stripe. Females lay 1 to 6 eggs in burrows that are dug 30 to 80 centimeters deep. They lay their eggs in sand or volcanic ash. The eggs are left alone for about 100 days until they hatch. Nesting months are January through April depending on the island. Their bodies are covered with short spikes on their head and all down their back. The spikes help keep away and scare off predators. Their mean look is ironic because they are very timid and shy creatures. They also have webbed toes that allow them to move around with ease in the water. In the water, they are fast and graceful, but on land, they are very clumsy and it takes a lot of effort for them to move. They use their sharp claws to stay down on a rock when the currents are heavy or when they're trying to get back to land. Some experts believe these lizards may have been around during the dinosaur age. Fossils found are similar to dinosaurs, but it is hard to find one that is related to.
Marine iguanas can be up to 3 feet long and weigh up to 22 pounds. Most of their length comes from their tail. They are black or gray color, but during the breeding season, the male adults develop a red and green color. Marine iguanas can lose up to 50 degrees Fahrenheit of body heat when they dive into the ocean. This explains why they bask in the sun and the rocks so much. Also, when they come out of the ocean, they tend to sneeze a lot to get rid of the salt in their body, which then lands on their head, creating a wig, as some researchers say. Another interesting fact about these iguanas is that while they are soaking up the heat, they are unable to move effectively and are really aggressive towards any predators because they can't run away until their body temperature rises back up.
The marine iguana's estimated population is of hundreds of thousands. Its scientific name is Amblyrhynchus cristatus. The color of its skin can adapt to the sun when it's needed. One of the iguanas can have a short, blunt snout, small, sharp teeth to help scrape algae off of rocks. Another type of iguana has a laterally flattened tail that helps them move through the water like a crocodile.
In the mating process, the male typically attracts the female by shaking his head rapidly to attract her attention. During intercourse, the male's tail wraps around the female's tail. The male has 2 penises, one for stimulation for the female, and the other for inserting the sperm to make children.
For the marine iguana, the kingdom is Animala, the phylum is Chordata, the class is Sauropsida, the order is Squamata, the family is Iguanidae, the genus is Amblyrhynchus, the species is Cristatus.
And their colors can vary, and they don't eat dairy, no. But what else is crazy? They have to mate with their tails because they're just that lazy. They can only be found on the Galapagos Islands. Be careful where you search because it's kind of hard to find them. Peace!